Hello, welcome to On Secret Space, and this is the fourth video of Shree Yantra series. And I decided to record this video to help out people. What can you find in your journey through your meditations with the Shree Yantra? Because when I was starting out, I could not find absolutely anybody saying their experience and anything. It was really hard to find out what will happen, what will you see, what will you experience. Now, after around 300 hours of meditation, I think I lived quite a lot through the Shree Yantra, and here are the experiences and the things that I've been seeing. And I hope this can help you out in your journey, prepare you, and also keep in mind that each person is different. Each consciousness has its own progress, its own path. So even if I prepare you and tell you what I experienced, you may go through completely different teachings. So open-mindedness is very important. I break this short video in 3 parts. First part, the things I've seen on a normal Tratak meditation. Second part, the places I've been taken to through deep meditations of Tratak, once I've already doing from 5 hours, 6 hours. So what did I experience and where Shree Yantra took me? And third part of the video, it's the most recent teaching I got a few days ago, and I'm gonna be including that one in the third part of the video. One of the first things I've ever seen while doing Tratak with the Shree Yantra are popping out 2 triangles. This one and this one. It was like popping out, coming outside. And through going deeper into meditations, I understood that these ones, as symbologically, it's the triangles representations of feminine and masculine. It also means the drum of creation. In Hinduism, drum creation represents the duality, the creation's distraction, this whole feminine, masculine, polarity, positive, negative. So basically, if it starts popping out to you in your meditations, it means that your subconscious mind is reaching a point of understanding the duality of this universe. The next thing that I saw popping out from the Shree Yantra during my meditations was the David star, which is the pentagon star with a circle around. In the beginning, I was surprised to see that. You know that it's a Solomon's seal for protection, meaning that they used to draw this symbol to protect yourself from demons and negative possessions and vibrations and frequencies. So when I saw that, in the beginning, I got a little bit scared, but later on, I understood that the reason why I'm seeing this, it is that I'm being blessed with this protection from Shree Yantra. Remember, Shree Yantra is a divine tool. So the moment that you start seeing the ceiling star, this is the protection that divine is giving to you. Remember now that nothing can ever harm you. If you feel any fear, it's your mind. Remember that you have seen this Solomon's seal protection, this David star. You're divinely protected already. This is the story that you have to tell yourself once you see this star. Next thing that I saw was a face. It is somewhere, it was here in this central area. This face, again, I got scared. Actually, take it fear as something very normal in your journey with Shree Yantra. Because fear is a natural response from us humans when we are encountering something new, something that we are not expecting to encounter. So every time you have fear, get motivated because you are advancing, you are pushing the boundaries of your own mental limits and go through it, face it. This face that I saw, it was a face with a tongue out, like that. And it is very intimidating face. Later on, I realized that there is a Hindu goddess, Kalima. She is often portrayed with a tongue out, and she's fearless with this intimidating energy. Guess what? Kalima is also the goddess of time, of creation, and destruction. So yes, Kalima appeared to me through the Shree Yantra. This is the dark divine. We need to embrace the dark divine in order to be able to stand up for ourselves as an individual and as a society. And that's the dark divine, that's Kalima. They put the seed in our brains to fear the darkness, so it is easier to control us because we cannot stand up for ourselves. If you get to see Kalima there, it's your sign to embrace the dark divine, get in this self-empowerment, learn your own limits, go within, learn to say no, put your boundaries, and stand up in your ground. Let me mention that I really got scared of that face. It was really intimidating, to the point that anytime I would not even meditate, I would just pass by through a room and see the Shree Yantra, that face is the first thing that I see. And I was getting scared of that. I was getting scared to come and sit and meditate because that face was coming out first, like fearless like that. So how did I pass that step? How did I overcome my own fear? Because maybe you will also encounter your own fear, and maybe it's not gonna be through Kalima, maybe it will be through something different. But how did I pass that fear was to sit face to face and keep looking. Even though the face was appearing here, I tried to not focus my view to the face, but I pressed harder my focus to the bindu, deeper, like more pressing it to the infinity. Because I put my whole intention and focus on the bindu, it's like my mind got over the image that was coming around of the face of Kalima. And that's how I surpassed this level of Kalima. I pushed farther, I started concentrating in my meditations and going deeper into this bindu farther. And that's how came the next face appeared, which was now like this size big lion. You know, I overcome one step and now coming this energy of empowerment. And yeah, it was really nice to see that. Since then, after that moment, I never again feared Kalima. She's sometimes still appearing there. Sometimes I see her first thing in my meditations. If you see her, maybe it is because you need to pray to her more, maybe because you need to go within more. Remember that this is a both ways tool. So whatever you're gonna see, it's the work that you have to do within. Next thing that I saw in my meditations with the Shree Yantra through Kratak, it was a snake. Usually this snake appears to me already when the whole Shree Yantra is active, moving. The previous phases, they appear without the Shree Yantra whole flower being active. But the snake appears when everything is already moving in circles, and the head of the snake is also like this, moving. The snake, it's a representation, it's an animal representation of Shiva. Shiva is, I have it here behind. He is the god of destruction, I would say also transformation. Usually yogis pray to Shiva because the transformation, it's the one that takes you from the physical to the astral, to the spirituality, transforms you farther. Next thing I saw was a peacock. And this peacock, like full peacock, it's from here with an open wings. Peacock is a representation of the goddess Saraswati, which is a deity representing benevolence, patience, kindness, compassion, and knowledge. And it is also identified with the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi. And this is amazing because the mantra that I always chant to the Shree Yantra is the Lakshmi mantra, Mahalakshmi. Now, next thing I saw was a whole complete next level. And it was a blink. When I saw that, it's like everything in my world stopped. And I got super self-aware. This part, this rombo they call it, it's like a vertical eye, and at one moment in this line it got like that, and it was a vertical blink, like you know it. When something happens, when you know. So I knew it. It happened like that, and I knew that it was an eye. Also, the third eye, it's represented like vertical, so the third eye blink would be vertical. When that happened, I felt very strongly that something, the same way I'm spending so many hours and so much energy and focus towards Shree Yantra, there is something or someone there on the other side looking back at me. And at that moment of the blink, I felt a huge presence looking back at me, like a huge presence of consciousness looking back at me. I don't know whether it can be me from another realm, that it is also doing Shree Yantra Tratak and we encountered each other. I don't know if it is directly the divinity or some god looked at me and I felt that. I have no idea. But it felt so strong, like I'm getting tingles right now just talking about it. And it only happened once. It was really big. This also gave me the thought of, am I being conscious in each action I'm doing, each thought I'm having? What do I do in my day-to-day life that can actively help this world? Am I making this place a beautiful place, a better place, actively? Yeah, this extra awareness that I'm having since the day of that blink. Now let's get to the second part of the video, which is already when I am in trance after few hours, long hours of doing Tratak, and I am deep in trance. What are the things that I experienced where Shree Yantra took me? As a reminder, Shree Yantra is a portal. It's divine tool, a portal through time and space, because it is created beyond time and space, so it can transport you absolutely anywhere. I'm talking from my experience. Once you are deep in trance, everything that surrounds you disappears, it vanishes. So when you are doing Tratak deep in trance, you are in there. Basically, this whole thing is surrounding you. Everything that, wherever you are, the room you're at, all the things that are around you disappear. You are now surrounded by Shree Yantra. You are inside of this. And if you keep meditating in this trance, it will start transport you. It will start transforming this bubble of Shree Yantra into scenes. And that's how it transports you somewhere. That's how I started seeing that all around me, it was like next to me, like this, it was a huge temple with like these pillars, big pillars, and golden, with torches, and huge, with such a classical, like a classical architecture, but really big. And later on, this temple, I was like in the entrance. It was having an entrance right there. Later on, I understood, it clicked me. It was the hall of Amenti. I took it like this may be something to do, like I will come back there in some future or some past. I don't know if through time and space, but it was like a glimpse of something that I will go into deeper. Next scene that I was transported to, it was around 8 hours of trance meditation in one sitting. Suddenly I encountered myself crossing a river in the night in a boat, in a small boat. And I was seeing the waters of the river with reflections of light from the village on the other side. And I also was having like a torch in the boat. So it was like seeing, and the water was so beautiful. Like I was seeing the water moving with the boat moving. I had this feeling that it was a past. Intuitively, I felt that I am in the past crossing some river. I had no idea why it happened. I just lived that moment for a few minutes and that's it. That was where it took me. Why? No idea. Maybe the me, many times we get downloads of informations, codes of informations or codes of light that only our higher self remembers. We are not able to remember unless we enter into trance. I believe there's something happened there. Maybe I got some kind of download there. It is somewhere there where I have to go to get that. 1 hour later, I've been transported to a desert. Out of nowhere, I was in the middle of the desert and yeah, I was just walking and it was all mountains of sands. And that's it. And again, and then I just disappeared. Mountains also happened to me once, that not through trance, but when I was just doing tratak, I felt like I was a bird flying through mountains looking here. So maybe in one life I was a bird flying through mountains and it got me into this consciousness. Who knows? Now, third part of the video where I'm gonna tell you the biggest teaching I got from Shree Yantra after around 300 hours of meditation. All of this, it's through tratak. Tratak, it's concentrating your gaze into one point. There is candle tratak. It is very powerful because by concentrating on the light of the candle, your pineal gland gets light. You are getting light into your Merkaba, into your body, fifth dimensional body. You're filling up yourself with light. And light, it's a high frequency. The more high frequency you have in your body, the less low frequency, low vibrational emotions you will experience and the better your life will be. Now that's what happens with a candle tratak. Shree Yantra tratak, Shree Yantra, it's a light generator as well. I cannot say what is stronger, what is bigger, but you can just test it by yourself. If you look for 1 minute in the point and then you close your eyes, you still see the light of the whole figure of Shree Yantra with closed eyes. That's the light generation that directly fills your pineal gland as well and your whole body with this divine light. You can do tratak, let's say, gazing with yourself on the mirror or at somebody else's eyes. And it is a very difficult task. If you put yourself in front of a mirror, you may start seeing weird things and your mind will start thinking weird things. And sometimes it is also difficult to look at somebody else, at your partner, let's say, gazing into the eyes, because tratak has this thing to bring whatever is in you outside. So whatever you don't like about yourself, or you are uncomfortable, or you fear about yourself, or something that you never filled inside, you're still empty of something that you want, something that you crave, something that you are neglecting, all of this will appear on the other side when you're doing tratak. It's something to keep in mind. All of this you will have to work on. This is the way how you can work on yourself, because whatever you see happening in the Shree Yantra, it's a reflection on what you have to work on within. Whatever emotions and thoughts start coming out to your brain when you're doing tratak with somebody's eyes or anywhere, analyze those thoughts. They are coming from within. This is exactly what you have to work on. On my journey with the Shree Yantra, I had to face a lot of negativity, a lot of fear. I grew up in an environment where horror was for fun on almost a daily basis, and now it is on deep in my subconscious mind. Out of nowhere, I would be just getting thoughts of like somebody falling out of the building or some bleeding happening. Like my mind, my subconscious mind was contaminated. And all of this was coming out when I was doing the work Tratak with Shree Yantra. At one moment, once the Shree Yantra is already fully active and I'm very deep into trance, the same way how it can take me to places, the same way it can show me a story. It can start being like a movie scene and show me stories. So many times it will start transforming into a horror scene. I would start seeing their faces, blood, like hell. I would literally encounter, like see their hell. And the more I would get scared of it, the more it would grow worse and worse. And it was just a loop happening that many times I would just get up and leave it rather than face it. It is really hard to face your own self. Those are demons coming from within. When they are so much engraved in your subconscious mind, it is a tough battle. It is a really tough battle. Like up till this day, I'm surely saying from my experience that there's no bigger enemy than your own mind. Few times happened that I reached a point where my fears were growing too big in their Shree Yantra and I was not able to deal with them. So I started to work on myself. I started every day embracing the dark divine, working. I knew that I had to work on the dark divine because I've been neglecting the darkness for so long. And this is something common in even people that jump into spirituality initially. They are very much into light beings, yes. But you're still living in a world of duality when you're in the 3D. You are not God, you are still living in a world of duality. You cannot see the whole picture and live in the truth if you do not embrace the darkness as well. So I had to work a lot in the darkness. I started entering into trance and doing self-affirmations, repeating to myself that I am in the now, that nothing can harm me. I am ready. It's a very strong affirmation. And this was my way to reprogram my subconscious mind, to give this little cheat codes to my subconscious mind. And I worked on it for a few months, I would say. And then I entered again into trance. And that's how I was able to face one of the biggest fears I've ever encountered in this Shree Yantra a few days ago. Like once I faced it and I did not look out or run away, there is a whole new strength that comes from within you. Everything is layers, and there's gonna be probably many more fears and layers. You just have to remove them in order to grow. There's no other way. If you have to grow, you have to face it. If you have to scream, yell at it, do it, fight it. And remember in every moment that you are a light being. You are a divine child of God, source, call it however you want to call it. And nothing can harm you unless you believe in it. By believing, you give power to it. So choose what to believe and strongly affirm to yourself the reality you want to live.